Hi Stampers, this is Lisa with Queen Bee Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm doing a video today just as an additional one. I normally go live every Monday and Thursday at 2:30, but this is an additional one. I am working on another book. Some of you know I have done a fun fold tutorial book that's available for sale on my website. You can get it in a downloaded version, or you can pay a little extra and get it spiral bound and printed out all ready to go. And I'm working on volume 2. So we were working with this fun fold pattern. It's a circle flip card. And I decided that it probably needed a little bit extra instruction. So I'm making this video tutorial to go along with my new book. So let's go ahead and get started so I can show you how this card is made. Here's our card right here, and it's got this neat little half circle that pops up over the top of the card, and then that's how it opens. And I've made this one before with some older stuff. I did it using snail mail for a class a long time ago, and I wanted to make a video using a newer product. So I'm using the Friends for Life. This is a bundle. I'm just using the stamp set, but I'm using the designer series paper that goes along with it. It's got this great bold pattern to it. I used a different one. This is the same pack of designer series paper. It's just a different print. It is called the Full of Life designer series paper. So I'm going to start out with a card base that is 4 1/4 by 11, and then that is scored at 2 1/2 and 6 3/4. Then I have a piece of designer series paper for the front, and that is 4 by 4. And then I have a piece of basic white for the inside that is 4 by 4. To go along the front, outside up here, this piece is 1 1/4 by 4. And then I've got a little piece that's 3/4 of an inch I'm going to add to the bottom on the inside. And then I went ahead and die cut a few circles using these Stylish Shapes dies. I used let's see, 1, 2, 3 up is the basic white, and then the fourth one up was the Berry Burst that coordinates really well with the bubble bath base I have here. And then we're going to use this one again to create that half circle that we're using up here. So I'm going to need my die cutting machine to show you how that's done. So I'm going to bring in my base, and then I have my piece of cardstock with the smaller portion up front. So then I'm going to straddle my circle over that line so that half of the circle is above the score line and half of it is below. And then I'm kind of shifting it a little bit to the right. Then I'm going to take my top plate and I'm going to just set it on here even with that score line. So the plate will apply pressure to the top of the die, but not to the bottom of the die. And then I'm going to go ahead and crank this through. Come on. And then you can see it cut the top, but it did not cut the bottom. Okay. That's the part I wanted you to be able to see how that's done, because it's a little bit confusing when I was writing it out in words, but I think once you see how it's done in the video, it makes a whole lot more sense. So now we're just ready to decorate. Put the designer series paper on the front. Oops. And then I'm going to use the back side of the same piece of designer series paper for up here. It was a 6x6, and so I was able to cut it and have not only my 4x4, but these additional pieces that we're using. And I'm going to center that here. Then I'm going to take the 3/4 inch piece, and that's going to go for our inside. Okay, now in order to get this that's going to go on here, I need 2 berry burst and 2 basic white circles. Now we're going to stamp the hearts on one and the word hi on the other. They're both out of this Friends for Life stamp set. Come on. I'm going to use Bubble Bath ink to stamp on our circles. So it will coordinate with the base. And then I'm going to stamp those hearts one more time in Berry Burst onto the front of the card, just because I thought it needed a little something in this corner. That's a dark red, so I'm making sure that I clean the stamp right away so they don't stain as bad. So each of these basic white circles is going to mount onto a Berry Burst circle, and they've got the stitched edge. Okay, so for this outside one, what I need it to do is adhere just to the front flap. So I'm going to do that by lining it up inside this circle and then adding some adhesive down here. And I'm using the liquid glue because I want it to have wiggle time so that I can make sure that I'm exactly where I want it to be and that I can shift it down so that I've got a perfect fit. Because see, it's basically going to go right where that other circle was. So that's step 1. And then step 2 is that I'm just going to do the same thing, and then this time I'm going to ink up. I'm going to glue up the whole circle, and we're going to place it right over the top of this one. And then I'm making sure that I'm flush on the back side. And then that's how it's going to close. So there is our circle flip card. I hope you like it and you give it a try. Thanks so much.